Well, hello there, YouTubers. This is JustGene83 coming to you with Reloading from the Hot Pot. Well, we're here today to have a little coffee tea chat. Yeah. I do drink the Java in the morning, but as the afternoon goes along, I tend to switch to green tea. Now, as far as Java goes, I don't have any particular preference on brand of coffee. Whatever's a good medium roast, whatever's a good creamer. I like to put cream in my coffee. I don't like to drink it black. It's too bitter for me. But I do like a good cup of sweetened coffee. So in the afternoon, I tend to resort back to green tea. And my preferred green tea is Arizona green tea with ginseng and honey. Very, very good. So I wanted to do this little coffee or tea chat with you about my introduction into reloading. My introduction into reloading had to do with my grandfather, and he actually owned a bait and tackle shop back in the early 60s before I was born. And owning the bait and tackle shop, he started casting and making his own sinkers to sell in the shop. Yeah, drinking this good green tea here. That's some good green tea. Got to try that. If you've never tried Arizona green tea, you got to give it a shot. So, as I grew up, he closed the bait and tackle shop, but he kept on making sinkers and taking them to the fishing parks and down to the river and selling them to fishermen sitting alongside the river. So we would melt things in this little cast iron pot and then pour it into these aluminum molds that he had made. So we would make these cone style sinkers. We would make the round ones. We would put these rods through them like this with a little hook on the end to attach your line to. And we would go around to the rivers and the quarries and stuff and sell the sinkers. Well, I grew up hunting and fishing and doing all that with my grandfather. And he was an excellent man, excellent role model. Unfortunately, he passed away in the year 2000, and after he passed away, I just backed away from the hunting, the fishing, and the guns, because that was me and him. That was something that we did together as a unit. And after he was gone, and me not having any children of my own, I really had no desire to do it anymore because my buddy was missing now. So I backed out of it. Another drink of this good green tea here. Now, a couple years ago, a friend of mine invited me out to his house. He said, "Hey man, I got an assortment of guns out here. You want to come out and go shooting with me?" I said, "I haven't shot a gun for years, man. I don't know." He said, "Well, come on out. Let's just give it a shot." I did have a gun in my personal possession. It was my grandfather's .35 Remington, made by the Marlin Company, model 336, chambered in .35 Remington, and I had inherited that when he had passed away. So I got it out, and I found the old bag of ammo that came with it, and I wondered if it was even going to shoot or not. Old ammo, who knows? I got it out, and we went out to his field. I put a couple rounds in it. Lo and behold, it fired off. And, that kind of rejuvenated me into what I was missing. That I had given something up that I loved so dearly because my partner was gone. But every time I pull the trigger, my partner's there with me. He's the one that taught me how to handle a firearm. Not to point it at anything unless you want to destroy it. Kind of instructioning. So it all started coming back. It all started coming back to growing up and traipsing around the woods and shooting firearms. Now, my grandfather, he did not do any reloading. He did not do any bullet casting. He did not have any reloading presses. He was an all-around kind of mechanical electrician guy, jack of all trades. Which was a pleasure learning from him. But the more I got into it and the more ammo I started getting into, and I started buying more firearms and more firearms and different calibers and rifles and shotguns. And I found my love for it again. I found that passion in it. And I knew my grandfather was there with me, over my shoulder in spirit through all of this. The drinking my tea here. Leaving a little cold ring there on the mat. At least I know where to sit my cup back down. So I started talking to a friend of mine who was doing some single stage reloading on some rifle rounds, and he said, "Hey, you're going through a lot of ammo. Why don't you consider reloading?" I said, "Well, that might not be a bad idea." So I started researching it and looking into it and bought some reloading books, watched a bunch of videos on YouTube. I got hooked into people like Loads of Bacon and Elvis Ammo and Fortune Cookie 45 LC, the Reloader Dude, and just an entire host of other good people in YouTube channel land. I quickly learned who knew what they were doing and who didn't know what they were doing. Very quickly. A little common sense kicks into play when you're watching educational channels. So I started reloading my own bullets. I started going to the range and picking up brass. I started buying primers and powder and experimenting with different powders and different overall lengths and loads. And so then it got to where I was spending a lot of money on these copper plated bullets. Those things run 10 to 15 cents a piece buying them in bulk. And I found that I really wasn't saving any money reloading with the brass, the primers, and then buying the bullets themselves, because I could buy the factory ammo for about the same price. So I got back talking to the same friend that got me into loading in the first place. And he said, "Well, a buddy of mine's casting his own bullets." I said, "Wow, that'd be really interesting." So I looked it up and started doing some homework and research on casting bullets, on the proper ways of using wheel weight ingots to buying mixed alloys. And this just led me into what I'm doing now with my video channel and my gun reviews and my reloading stuff. Almost all the ammo that I shoot in my videos for gun reviews is my reloaded ammunition, whether it's a 9mm, a 45, a 40, a 10mm. It's all me. It's all me. It's everything I do is what I reload. I really enjoy doing this. When I started reloading, I started melting wheel weights and learning the separation, learning how to flux all the lead, learning how to make ingots. And my first ingots were for the muffin pans. The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the muffin pans. I found that this didn't last very long. So I jumped off to my local little junk this and that shop, and I picked up one of those cast iron trays that look like a half an ear of corn to make your corn muffins in, for display purposes. So I started making corn muffins. Well, out of lead. Half a muffin. So I started doing this. And this worked for quite a while. Then I finally actually bought a real ingot mold. Oh my goodness. Got it from Lee Precision. And these are a couple of little half pounders there. So now I'm into it. I've got a Lee 420 bottom pour pot. I've got quite a few different molds for doing different size and shape bullets. And I really enjoy it. It's very relaxing, very relaxing. It's something I can do for a couple hours in the evening time, and after a couple days I'll have 1,000 or so bullets, that I've created, and I get to go out and enjoy shooting with. Getting into shooting competitions, getting a lot of practice time in, and going through a lot of ammo at the competitions, it does make it quite more affordable now. These 9mm bullets cost me 4.5 to 5 cents a piece to make. 4.5 to 5 cents. That's a lot better than the 10, between 10 and 20 cents, depending on the manufacturer and if you've gotten anything on sale or not on buying factory loaded ammo. I find it's just as consistent as factory loaded ammo once you've learned how to be consistent with it. There's a lot of channels here on YouTube about reloading, bullet casting, where people are pushing the boundaries. You got Elvis Ammo that's experimenting with 300 blackout and all this 223 and 556 and all these super duper charges, and well, that's fine. That's good information if you're into that stuff. But what I'm looking for is consistency. I'm looking for a consistent product that I can turn out a few thousand rounds and I can shoot out of any of my firearms. I've got several 45 firearms that this bullet here will happily go down the barrel of without a problem, without a failure to fire, without a failure to eject. And then, you know, my 40 caliber. I got several 40 caliber firearms that I load 40s for. This is one of the copper plated bullets that's just kind of left over. It's on the bench. Something that I made and just sat up top one day. We also do 10 millimeter. I got a couple different 10 millimeter firearms. You know, just in case you want to kill a bear or a hog or something, well, you're going to need that around. I've gotten into the powder coating. I've tried the jacketed bullets. It's all the same. It's all the same. They all shoot the same. I don't think one's any better than the other. Get another drink of this green tea here. So my road to reloading, bullet casting, has actually been a very short one compared to some people. You know, you get people that are on here that have got 10, 20, 30, 40 years in this reloading process. I'm just a novice at it, just a novice. I don't know diddly squat about it. I don't claim to know diddly squat about it, but I have a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoy doing it. One, it saves me money. Two, keeps me out of the wife's hair. And we know how that is when we've been married for a long time. Three, it's relaxing to me. I find it very enjoyable. Sometimes frustrating, but what isn't frustrating every now and then? It doesn't matter what you do. You know, if you do yoga, every once in a while, you're just going to get up off the floor and go, I'm done. I'm over this. But the next day you'll be back at it again, naturally. My cup of tea is getting down here. Oh, do you like my cup? Isn't that a cool cup? You can find this cup on, I got this in my local shooting center, but you can find this cup on Amazon, eBay. It says all kinds of different things on it. This has got the local shooting center on it, where I got it at. Yeah, I hate to promote, for people without any recognition for it, but, well, it kind of is what it is when you buy things sometimes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very much. I'm going to take my coffee cup with the rest of my tea in it, and I'm going to go throw some stuff in the crock pot, maybe make a roast for tonight's dinner. I hope you all enjoyed my little coffee or tea chat. And until next time, YouTube, keep blowing the smoke.